They say women love nice men. They say kindness keeps a relationship alive. But no one tells you what happens when kindness is no longer appreciated, when your love is taken for granted, when patience becomes weakness. This story begins the moment you stop being the nice husband. You don't scream. You don't break things. You don't threaten to leave. You simply change. You stop explaining yourself. Stop begging for respect. Stop apologizing for things you never did. You don't argue anymore. You observe. You don't chase. You watch who walks away. At first, she doesn't notice. She's used to you fixing everything. She thinks your silence is just another phase. But days go by, and something feels different. You're no longer available like before. You're present but distant. Calm but unreadable. Kind but no longer soft. She asks what's wrong. You replies nothing. But for the first time, you mean it. Because nothing is wrong. Everything is finally clear. You see now that being a nice husband didn't earn you love. It earned you expectation. You weren't respected. You were used. And so you enter your rebirth. You stop overgiving. You stop over-explaining. You stop seeking validation. You love her, but now you love yourself more. You become firm with your boundaries. You speak only when necessary. You no longer negotiate for basic decency. And that is when the fear begins. She starts questioning herself. Why isn't he reacting? Why doesn't he care anymore? Because you finally understand. A relationship built on convenience is not love. A love that exists only when you sacrifice yourself is slavery. So no, you're no longer the nice husband. You're the balanced one. The self-respecting one. The man who gives but will never again beg. And whether she stays or leaves, you know one thing for sure. You will never betray yourself again. At first, she's confused. Then she's annoyed. Eventually, she's afraid. Not of you, but of losing the power she had over you. She begins to test you. Sudden attitude. Unexpected coldness. Random silence. The same weapons she once used to control you. But this time, they don't work. You don't flinch. You don't chase. You don't ask what's wrong. You simply carry on with your day. You no longer revolve around her emotions. You no longer perform to earn affection. She is no longer the center of your world. Because you finally placed yourself there. Now she watches as you wake up earlier. You work out more. You focus on your career. You laugh without her. You glow differently. And for the first time, she feels replaceable. She starts trying harder. Suddenly, she's more affectionate. Suddenly, she's more polite. Suddenly, she respects your space. But you're not cold. You're not cruel. You're just unavailable to nonsense. You became a man who is calm, yet unreachable. And that's when she understands. You were never weak. You were patient. You weren't soft. You were loving. But now, you're awake. Something changes. She used to walk past you without a word. Now she lingers. She used to give you one-word replies. Now she starts the conversations. She used to ignore your presence. Now she studies your every move. Why? Because control has silently changed hands. You stopped reacting, and suddenly she became the one reacting to you. She starts asking subtle questions. Where are you going? Who are you texting? Why are you dressed up? Not because she cares, but because she's now uncertain. uncertain of her position, uncertain of her influence, uncertain if she still matters to you. She tries to provoke you, but you respond with calm logic. She tries to guilt trip you, but you answer with silence. She tries to argue, but you walk away unbothered. And that's when she feels something she hasn't felt in years. Fear, not fear of you leaving, but fear of being replaced. Because for the first time, you look like a man who could. She now behaves differently. Suddenly she agrees more. Suddenly she wants to spend time. Suddenly she misses you. But this isn't love. Not yet. It's self-preservation. Because deep down she knows, if she doesn't change, she will lose you. There's always a moment. A silent moment when she looks at you and understands you're no longer emotionally hers. Not because you said anything. Not because you shouted or threatened to leave. But because your energy changed. You don't seek validation. You don't fear silence. You don't negotiate for love anymore. You have become mentally independent. That's when panic sets in. She starts doing things she never did before. She asks if you're happy. She suddenly remembers your favorite meal. She touches you more, even if awkwardly. She watches you when you're not looking. She's not loving you. She's reassessing her strategy. Because for the first time, you're not the safe, predictable, nice husband who stayed no matter what. You are now a mystery. And mystery is powerful. She becomes softer, more careful, more attentive, not out of love, but out of fear of being replaced by a better version of you without her. And here's the irony. The moment you stopped begging for her love, she began begging for your attention. Because deep down she knows, a man who has mastered his emotions cannot be controlled, and a man who cannot be controlled will soon outgrow her. Now that the balance has shifted, she is softer, more attentive, more careful with her words. But this is where most men make a mistake. They either fall back into old patterns, becoming overly nice again, or swing too far the other way, becoming distant, harsh, and emotionally unavailable. Neither is strength. True power is balance. You don't need to be cruel. You don't need to be cold. You don't need to prove anything. You simply need to remain consistent. Hear how you keep control while staying calm and fair. Give kindness, but only in response to respect. Set boundaries not with anger, but with clarity. Reward effort, not manipulation. Speak less, act more. Never argue emotionally, respond logically, or stay silent. She must understand. You're not withholding love. You're protecting your peace. You're not pushing her away. You're no longer chasing. You're not punishing her. You're simply refusing to lose yourself again. And here's the beautiful part. When a man carries himself with quiet strength, when he is kind but not weak, loving but not desperate, present but not dependent, he doesn't need to control her. She willingly aligns, not out of fear, but out of respect. So no, you are no longer the nice husband. You are the balanced one, the centered one, the man who finally realized being loving is noble, but being self-respecting is sacred. With time, one of two things will happen. Either she will evolve, or she will resist change. If she truly values you, she will soften not out of weakness, but out of maturity. She will match your energy. She will mirror your peace. She will learn that love is not control, but cooperation. But if she refuses, if she clings to her old power, if she waits for the nice husband to return, she will lose you. Not because you stopped loving her, but because she refused to love the new you. And that is the final truth. A relationship only survives when both grow. Not one leading while the other drains. Not one clinging while the other carries. But two balanced forces choosing each other, freely, respectfully, consistently. So if you are a man on this path, a man shifting from pleaser to leader, from passive to grounded, from chasing love to commanding respect, then welcome. You've already taken the first step toward becoming unbreakable. Candle, if this message spoke to you, don't just leave silently. Subscribe to The Silent Sage, where calm men awaken, where broken men rebuild, and where soft hearts learn to carry steel inside. Your evolution has begun.